Right out the gate, this is serious. Assault on a public servant in Texas is no small charge. It's a third-degree felony, which means prison time is very much on the table. But here's the twist. The deal already lined up is probation. Stick around, because the judge is about to wrestle with whether that deal makes sense once we hear the details.
Is that you?
Yes,
Present,
sir, Your Honor.
Present with your attorney, Mr. West, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about February 14th, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
If convicted, you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, Your Honor, I do.
Agreement's been reached. You would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
How do you plead to this indictment? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You're hesitating. Are you guilty or not?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
I was off my medications.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir, Your Honor, I do.
Notice that moment of hesitation? This is crucial. In court, judges want clear, unequivocal guilty pleas. When a defendant hesitates, especially bringing up mental health or medication, judges perk up. Why? Because it can open the door to appeals later if the plea isn't deemed fully voluntary.
Yes. Show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily? Did
Yes,
you
sir.
understand it? Discuss it with your attorney? Or
Yes,
the
sir.
contents all the contents true and correct?
Yes,
Here.
sir, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into it.
No objection.
Without objection admitted. Among other things, the state you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true at state, so help you God. State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Without objection.
Oh, yeah, no objection.
Is pre-sentence report one?
Please, Your Honor, yes.
How long have you been in jail now? Would you say? A long time? Months?
Since
Weeks? Days? What?
Weeks.
August 15th.
And injuries to this lady, please?
She had a bruise, Your Honor. He was there on a detention hold.
What was her damages?
There was no damages.
No physical injuries? It was observed.
There was
so
no
physical injury.
as far as damages. There was no money that she
No.
wasn't treated. She just had some bruising, I believe, on
She
her.
was struck in her face with his hand, and let's see, used his head to strike her in the face. I observed physical injuries. He also spit saliva on her, landing on her neck there, it says. But
No, that's
how
right.
can you hit somebody with your head in the face and not cause some kind of harm?
Well, there was bruising.
I
I
understand
don't
there's
know.
no, she didn't have any medical bills or anything like that. There's no restitution. But there was.
Okay.
It did bruise her.
But-
And like you said a moment ago, Your Honor, one of the big issues was he was there medical issue, and he was
Well, the
off
big
his
issue
medication.
is he competent or not?
Oh, he is competent. Yeah.
And it's not
Why?
then there's no defense there, is there?
No, we're not saying in defense.
Okay,
We're
well
just
then
saying
let's
why.
not waste our time.
Yeah.
Either is responsible or not.
Yeah. And he's
But
been in
you hit
contact.
somebody in the face, a woman, and you hit him in the face, which results in this third-degree felony, and they're a public servant, namely a nurse at the hospital, ironically trying to provide medical care to the person who assaults. Okay. That's all. We got a battery running low, which is not a surprise here.
We just have to take on the issues and see.
How much time does it show? He was in custody. Anything else on this?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to find you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea. From State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. That will be suspended. You are placed on regular probation for 10 years.
For 40 days, Judge.
There is no fine here. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Can you tell me a little bit about what the situation was here
Situation?
with him? Well, yeah, why was he in the hospital?
I believe it was, I don't have her, I don't have the computer right in front of me.
It was an emergency detention hearing dealing with his some psychiatric issues, Your Honor, where they had brought him in to the hospital, and that's what they were trying to essentially treat him for on that unit. You know.
Well, I'm concerned about headbutting and striking a nurse.
Yes, sure.
They are they're pretty special people.
Did you catch that? The alleged victim is a nurse, a healthcare worker. Under Texas law, assaulting certain professionals like nurses or first responders bumps the charge up because they're considered public servants. Basically, the law treats this like a direct attack on society's frontline defenders.
When it comes to taking care of people, because if they weren't there, who would be? If the doctors need them, so who would be? The point being is, I can put somebody in jail up to 180 days, and when you assault people who are in a position of special providing of public service, then you pay for it on my terms.
Your Honor, if I could respond,
Mhm.
I think he was having issues back then. He's been competent lately. Before he was actually arrested, he and I had been in contact. He had called my office because he knew I was a court-appointed attorney while the warrant was pending. He was actually in, was it Alabama? Alabama? He was in another state. Georgia, okay, I knew it was somewhere that way. He was in Georgia, whatever. Me and him were coordinating back and forth, trying to get him, figure out what's going on in the case. He's been competent. He's never denied doing this. He's always been very,
And he's charged with,
yeah,
I'm sorry, intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly causing
yes,
bodily injury.
and
So
he
it's,
understands that.
he's accepting
He's
responsibility.
absolutely, Your Honor.
But you don't assault somebody, especially hit a woman in the face, a nurse, and sashay out of here without paying a price.
Well, and another thing, Your Honor, he's currently expecting his first child. When is his due?
I'm more worried about you know what I'm worried about is the victim.
I understand.
The
Your Honor.
person who is not paid to be punched in the face
Absolutely, I understand. Your
when they're
Honor.
trying to care.
I
You're going
would
to serve 180 days in jail as a condition of,
I
you
would ask-
served how long?
Days so far.
Your Honor, I would ask the
4
court
months.
to abate that and see how he does on probation, and if he's messing up, then do it. But I think he's going to be okay on
Now, if he
probation.
messes up on probation, you're looking at 10 years. But right now, you're going to do 4 months. In 4 more months, you just don't punch a care provider in the face. Sorry. That's
I
just
did,
it.
Your Honor, I did ask her nicely 3 times to back up out of my face. I did ask her nicely. I said, ma'am, please back up out of my face 3 times.
You did. You said what to her?
I said, she was all up in my face, and I asked her 3 times. I'm like, ma'am, please back up out of my face. I'm off my meds, really. I was off my meds for like
So you
4
remember
months.
all of that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes,
Well,
Your
just to
Honor, I
be
do.
clear, Your Honor, it was a security officer there at the hospital that were dealing
Here's
with
the
him.
deal is, it says security officer. It
Yes.
says, Yeah, I want to be. Well, do you see what this indictment says? I mean, I'm reading the indictment. It says assaulted Linda DeMoss, a public servant, namely a nurse at St. Elizabeth Hospital. Is that wrong or right?
Yes.
Is where the emotional tension spikes. The judge is laser focused on the fact that someone trying to help, whether nurse or security, ended up on the receiving end of violence. And notice the rhetorical punch. You just don't punch a care provider in the face. That's not just courtroom language. It's also a message to the audience about social values.
Your Honor, that's incorrect. It should be the.
Well, the indictment is
security
wrong?
officer. Yes.
Well, we can't be pleading guilty to something that's wrong if everybody knows about it.
Yes, sir.
I didn't realize that. Like I said,
I wouldn't-
yeah,
yeah.
I don't have that in front of me like I
Yes, sir.
normally do, Your Honor.
The security guard is also
Still
protected
public. Yes, sir.
person,
Yeah, absolutely.
but a nurse is not in a position to be able to defend themselves like a security personnel may be able to.
I do think we maybe need to make an amendment from the,
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
I don't think it changes
Y'all
doesn't change the crime.
Y'all
but it-
y'all gotta correct this. I mean, I'm heading out in one direction thinking this is a nurse. Nobody's
Yeah.
saying anything until at the end of all of this. And it's the apples and oranges. I made a big speech about protecting the public servant and nurse.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm gonna do that because they're trying to help people, not to defend themselves. And security person is in a different position.
Still public servant. Still falls with that.
So what do y'all want to do in this indictment? This can't be,
Move to amend
this
it, Your
can't be
Honor.
wrong, or else we're doing.
Yeah, I
we're
think the
sloppy.
next amendment to amend that, just change nurse to security officer. And we don't object to that. That's.
Okay, what is the word? Yeah, I'm taking out nurse here at
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
request, and what should it be?
Security
Officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then it goes on to say, to wit, in the lawful discharge of an official duty, to wit, or namely providing medical care to the defendant. Well, that's not right either. That security person isn't providing medical care. So what are we doing?
Your Honor,
What do we say for that?
Why don't we do this since I'm gonna be back here in the morning. I know Mr.
What do you want to put in here so we can
Do you
move
wanna-
on, so
I think
everybody
the
can move
officer-
on with their life? Because
Yeah.
I'm going to follow this agreement as it is.
Yeah.
Just fix it though.
And they were helping.
I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, y'all, an indictment is ought to be accurate.
Then let's give us a little moment to me and Mr. Boyd to work out the actual language we need to get in here, because that's.
They were actually bringing him in the psychiatric area for treatment. It was in that, doing that
So,
and in there.
In lawful discharge of an official duty, to wit, providing security to the hospital.
Yes, sir.
Works. It's up to the state.
Well, if it works,
Yeah, we
is it
did.
right or not?
Yes, Your Honor. We moved to amend.
Or do you swear to God?
Hey,
I mean, we're just,
well,
you had to
Yes.
look at this. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
is that what this person's doing?
yes,
Providing,
Yes, Your Honor.
security.
providing security at the hospital.
Yes, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
that's what this person's on duty for
Okay.
doing.
All right, corrected. To state, the victim was a public servant providing, a public servant, namely a security officer at St. Elizabeth Hospital in the lawful discharge of an official duty, to wit, or namely providing security for the hospital.
That's
Good?
Yes, Your
That's
Honor.
perfect, Your Honor.
All right. And I've issued the statement, you're sentenced to 10 years in prison, that is suspended, you get placed on regular probation, there will be terms and provisions that are normal and customary. Please see the probation officer. Do you understand? If you fail, your probation could be revoked, you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison.
What is the upfront time still part of it, or is that? been
No.
paid for that?
No. And I don't mean to be light to a security official,
But it's a little different.
but a nurse is not in a position to defend themselves.
Yes, I
necessarily.
understand that. Yes.
And they're like a doctor at a hospital,
Versus security
and they're
guard.
going to be, you pay a price. Security, you also pay a price, and he's got a felony conviction now.
Right.
Plot twist. Turns out it wasn't actually a nurse, it was a security officer. That's a huge correction. Imagine pleading guilty to hitting a nurse when it wasn't a nurse at all. Accuracy in indictments matters big time, because one wrong word can derail the entire plea deal. Think of it as the legal version of sending the wrong person to detention.